Coming your way in just a bit. If the Cowboys beat the Rams tonight, they're going to tie Terry Steelers for most playoff wins all time. Kickoff is next. We're about to see which team moves on to the NFC title game. We thank you, as always, for watching this Built for Tough Fox NFL special pregame show. Be the Cowboys or Rams making it to the NFC Championship. Time to send it over to the Coliseum and Joe Buck. Joe.
Kurt, thank you. Yep, that's what's at stake here tonight. What a scene it is here at the LA Memorial Coliseum. The Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams to see who goes to the NFC Championship game next weekend. Welcome to the booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, along with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Aaron Andrews is coming up in just a moment. Let's talk about the Rams. For the majority of the season, Troy, they were the most dynamic team easily in the NFC. But down the stretch, they struggled a little bit offensively. I'm anxious to see how they come out of the gate here tonight.
Yeah, I think Sean McVay is as well. You know, they had a tough loss against the Chicago Bears. They followed that up with a loss to the Eagles. The last 2 weeks, they've played more Rams football. You can look at this game a lot of different ways. You can talk about their defense, their inability to stop the run. This game, in my opinion, comes down to Jared Goff. When he plays well, this team wins, and he's played well the last 2 weeks.
Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. It is an extremely young roster that Jason Garrett has. I feel like some of the weight is off their shoulders after that win last week, and particularly Dak Prescott to get that first playoff win. He was as good as anybody on the field against Seattle.
Yeah, Dak's probably playing the best of his career right now. And I think if you look at the Cowboys, it's no surprise what their formula is. They want to run the ball a lot with Ezekiel Elliott. They want to play great defense, and they're able to do that as well as anybody in football right now. But the Cowboys believe if they can get this game to the fourth quarter, that Dak Prescott somehow, some way, is going to find a way to win the game like he did last week and like he's done so many other times over his 3-year career.
We will take a break. Can't wait for this thing to kick off. The Rams and the Cowboys, a divisional playoff game on a Saturday night on Fox.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
We get set for the opening kickoff here on a chilly LA Saturday night. Let's check down on the field with Aaron Andrews.
Well, Joe, you and Troy mentioned it before the game. This is the best Dak Prescott has felt in his career, especially coming after that Seattle game. He said, I'm being aggressive at the right time. I'm seeing the defense, and I'm running and throwing the ball very well. If there is a concern for this Cowboys offense, it's that wide receiver Cole Beasley and tight end Blake Jarwin are coming in banged up. I did speak with a few coaches after warm-ups. They don't know how much they're going to get from Beasley. They said there is a concern about him changing directions during the game. All right, for more on the Rams, let's send it over to Chris Myers.
Well, Aaron, Todd Gurley looked outstanding during his pregame warm-up. This is his first game in a month since that left knee injury. The training staff will monitor throughout the game, applying heat, keeping it loose on the stationary bike. No restrictions for him, but expect to see him share the workload with C.J. Anderson. As for this field, in good shape, but there was an overnight rain and high humidity. They expect the surface of the natural grass field to be slick. If a player isn't wearing the right shoe, he could be slip-sliding through the evening. Back upstairs to Joe and Troy.
All right, Chris, thank you. They did cover the field, so the field is pretty good. It's the sidelines that are the issue. It is a bit swampy on the Cowboys and the Rams sidelines. Spanish language broadcast available tonight on Fox Deportes. And you know what's at stake here tonight. One team's season will come to an end. One team will continue and play on in a destination to be determined next weekend in the NFC Championship game. The Cowboys won the toss. They defer. The Rams will start this game with the football. Let's have some fun. Glad you're with us on Fox. Out to the 25. So now Jared Goff. A king's ransom the Rams paid to be able to draft Jared Goff first overall in 2016. He played that year, went 0-7. 24-8 since, and that includes a loss last January here to the Atlanta Falcons. He is mentally tough. He survived that rough start, and he and Sean McVay, a tremendous combination.
Well, you talked about it in the open, Joe, the 3-game stretch against the Lions, Bears, and Eagles, where he had 6 interceptions in those games. 4 of them came against the Chicago Bears, but they really got back on track the last 2 games of the season.
Here's Gurley, and that's Jalen Smith making the stop, a gain of 3 on the first play from scrimmage. And we'll look at this offense, and it is terrific any way you look at it. And this is an offensive line, Troy, that was healthy all year long. All 5 guys made all 16 starts.
Yeah, the only team in the National Football League that can say that, and that's obviously one of the big reasons why this offense has been so productive.
Little play action, and the tight end Higbee wide open and out of bounds out across the LA 45. Knocked out by Xavier Woods, and a catch and run of 19 yards.
Well, you see they get their eyes looking inside Anthony Brown, and then there goes Higbee out in the flat, and the Rams do such a great job. You know, everybody runs the ball, everybody runs play action, but not everybody makes it look the same the way that the Rams do in the releases, and you see a lot of big plays come off of it.
Gurley wrestled down at the 49 by Malik Collins. Well, this defense is good. It's also young. And you look at how they stopped the run, a top 5 team across the NFL during 2018. The young linebackers with Smith and Van Der Esch, 17 tackles combined against Seattle in that wild card playoff game. 2nd and 7. And it's against Dallas.
Ball starts. Offense.
Oh, no, it's not. They'll change that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I saw Antoine Woods. It looked to me, number 99.
Defense. Number 99. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It was Woods, and then the man across from him smart enough to initiate movement on the offensive line so that the call goes against Dallas to make it 2nd and 2.
That's a good job by Jared Goff, also being able to use hard count. We've talked about it, the noise in this stadium. How many Cowboys fans are here? It probably is a 50-50 crowd, and would he be able to use hard count? He's able to on the opening possession, and he gets Woods.
Here's Gurley, 1st down. Troy, you talk about everybody runs the ball, everybody runs play action, but not everybody has Todd Gurley, too. When he has the ball faked to him, he can draw a lot of attention.
He's got great power, and obviously he's explosive. And, you know, reports coming in was that he might be limited. Everybody I talked to said he looks like he's full go, 100%. They're going to get his best effort tonight.
Wash work. Hey, push too far.
There he is, busy on this first possession. Driving for 9 as he goes through Van Der Esch.
This left side of the offensive line is awfully athletic, and they're an experienced group. You're going to see the push that they're getting here at the point of attack with John Sullivan, the center, Roger Saffold, the left guard, and Andrew Whitworth. Over 400 career starts amongst those 3 guys.
Penalty shuts down this play.
Neuters on infraction. Defense. Number 90. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
They called DeMarcus Lawrence. And Jason Garrett pleading his case to no avail.
Well, this is the Cowboys defense that, 13 games this year, they have held opponents scoreless in the first quarter.
Goff overthrows Reynolds. Yeah, last week in the playoff game against Seattle, they allowed 9 yards in the first quarter against the Seahawks. They are the best defense in the NFL in the opening quarter. 24 points allowed total, by far the lowest number.
Well, you wondered how the Rams were going to come out in this one and kind of get things going. I always feel like there's more pressure on the 1 and 2 seeds in their first playoff game in the divisional round, but so far it's been a nice drive for this Rams offense.
C.J. Anderson gets into the act. First down inside the 15. And the back playing in just his third game as a Ram, and a running back who's won a Super Bowl, carries for 12.
John Sullivan, he blocks the nose. He does a great job. And then they get the right guard, Austin Blythe. He gets up to the next level. And right now, this offensive line, they're moving those interior defenders of the Cowboys. Talked about how good they were last week shutting down Seattle. That was because of Antoine Woods and Malik Collins. But this drive, they're getting pushed off the ball.
Anderson again fights his way near the 11. By the way, the quarterback he won a Super Bowl with, Super Bowl 50, is in the house tonight. Peyton Manning brought his son to this playoff game, and his boy's wearing a Todd Gurley jersey, and he sees C.J. Anderson with back-to-back carries. And into the red zone the Rams go.
Well, we know Peyton Manning, some of those offenses that he was at the helm for, I know he admires and appreciates what this Rams offense has done.
Anderson again. Started the year in Carolina, was cut, was with the Raiders, was cut, and he ends up with the number 2 seeded team in the NFC.
Yeah, he's looked good, hasn't he? Malcolm Brown goes down, and then they sign him. He was on the streets in the last 2 weeks of the season. Heck, he put 167 yards up and then finished it up with 132 yards. He's going to get some playing time here tonight. This is the Rams' first third down on this possession. Can the Cowboys make a stop? If they do, it's a 4-point play. You force a field goal as opposed to possibly giving up a touchdown.
Quick snap, Goff under pressure, pass incomplete. Van Der Esch got through, and he was in the face of Jared Goff. And now we'll see what decision Sean McVay makes, and the decision is to send the field goal unit on for the field goal try.
Well, credit Leighton Van Der Esch for that one, because it's an errant throw. He had Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley's running what they call an H-post, and he has a clear shot for the touchdown, but because of the pressure with Van Der Esch in Goff's face, he just unloads it.
First 4 years for Greg Zuerlein spent as a St. Louis Ram. Was injured last year. This is Zuerlein's first postseason try. 25 yards. Rams score first. Minor victory for the Cowboys to keep LA out of the end zone. 3-0 early. Divisional playoff, LA.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm. Great scene down below. This place is packed. Over 75,000 here at the Coliseum. It's undergoing renovations for the USC Trojans. Rams will open up a new stadium in 2020. There's the drive. 38 rush yards on that drive. 19 by Gurley, 19 by Anderson, but it ends in a field goal. Chance for a return by Jordan Lewis. Out to the 29. And so here comes Dak Prescott, who made his pro debut in August of his rookie year 2016 in this Coliseum. Had a great time right out of the gate, and who knew that he would be the man and compile a 13-3 record as a rookie and take his team to the postseason 2 years ago.
This year, a lot of highs and lows for him this year, right? He came in, struggled through the first part of the season, but I'll tell you, once they brought in Amari Cooper, it's been a different Dak Prescott.
Here's a toss. Elliott back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Brought down by Sue. Let's look at this offense. 22nd ranked offense in the National Football League, the number 10 rushing offense, and the offensive line has Connor Williams back at left guard instead of Xavier Su'a-Filo.
And I think Connor Williams can expect to see a whole lot of number 99 in this ball game, and that's exactly where he is right now. Here's Aaron Donald, and he's going to test that young rookie.
Beasley with his bad ankle on the sideline here at the start. Here's Jarwin, who also has a bad ankle. You wouldn't know it. A catch and run for a first down. Mark Barron on the stop, and this guy Troy's been getting better and better and better. And while they had a void with the retirement of Jason Witten, now they have a guy that they can go to at tight end.
Yeah, they do, and he's a little banged up coming into this game also. Got injured last week, and he leaves the field here, but he stepped up once they lost Jeff Swaim, and there's a connection between him and Prescott. There's no question about that.
Former Ram Tavon Austin in motion. Here's Elliott. And Elliott ran into Corey Littleton and Michael Brockers. A gain of 2. This defense, there have been times where it's looked pretty good, and there have been times where it's been shredded by a good offense.
Well, I'll tell you, the 3 games I watched in the season, I was embarrassed for the Rams in the way that they played and the effort they put on film. But those 2 plays, the 2 running plays by Ezekiel Elliott, big play made by Sue. That last one, Michael Brockers was there. This defensive front, they're pretty cranked up right now.
Here is Elliott, and there's Fowler. Picked up from the Jaguars at the trading deadline. A gain of 1. Third down coming up.
Fowler comes in. He puts a pretty good lick there on Ezekiel Elliott. This is a good sign right now. Of course, the running games, as we know, they get better the more you run it and as you move into the second half. But those 3 carries now by Ezekiel Elliott yielded him just 3 yards.
Beasley was out there on the second down play. He's not there for 3rd and 7. Prescott protected. Pass is caught. Cooper gave up a yard, and he's going to be a yard short.
That's a good call, Joe, because I think initially Cooper had it. It looked like from here, but you know he lost ground on his own.
And it looks like, Troy, the Dallas Cowboys with the ball just on the LA side of midfield. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1.
That's a pretty aggressive ball by Jason Garrett here this early in the game, just down 3 points at midfield.
You like it?
I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Now, I know that the Rams move the ball against them defensively, but this defense, that defense for the Cowboys is what's going to win the game for them.
Here's Elliott, and he gets it to the 44, and a gain of 5. Littleton on the stop, and now flag comes down at the very end of the play, actually 2. It was after the play was over, it appeared, and Elliott comes away limping, so that could be a really costly 4th down. Let's see if we can find out where the penalty may have been called with Peters and Amari Cooper. Let's see who gets that call. Looked like Peters initiated it, and then the flags came in when Cooper grabbed a hold of the face mask of number 22.
One day these players are going to get smart and stay away from that. It'll probably be
After the play,
offside.
personal foul, defense, number 22, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Or maybe not. So that's a huge penalty then on Marcus Peters, 15 yards. They pick up the first down on 4th and 1, and they add another 15 to it.
For Marcus Peters, that's his 8th penalty called against him for the season, and it looked like he instigated that little skirmish. And there's Elliott. He came away limping, but with that penalty call, he ends up back on the field and is to the right of Dak Prescott on first down. Over the middle, Cooper. Amari Cooper inside the 5, touchdown, Dallas. With Elliott blocking. What a start. They went for it on 4th and 1, got it, and turned it into 6, maybe 7.
You see the job that Ezekiel Elliott, he's the one who makes it happen. He comes up and he makes the block on Mark Barron right there, and that opens up the lane and the vision for Dak Prescott. Amari Cooper running away from LaMarcus Joyner. That's a great drive to answer the 3 points the Rams had put up.
Prescott on the drive was 3 for 3 for 48 yards and a touchdown. That call went against Marcus Peters. And Cooper took care of the rest. 7-3 Dallas. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are 8-2 since they made that trade with Oakland, gave up next year's first-round pick to get Amari Cooper, and man, has he been a difference maker. Changed the entire look of the Dallas Cowboys offense, opened things up, and he's had 3 monster games for the Cowboys along the way. Back to the touchdown.
Yeah, the Cowboys, Joe, they went with 3 wide receivers. However, the Rams stayed with their base defense. And they went with four defensive backs, and that's why LaMarcus Joyner, the safety, is on Amari Cooper inside. You're going to see the move then that Amari Cooper puts on him, just completely gets him turned around and creates that separation. I say it every time we do a Cowboys game. I have not seen anyone cover him yet man-to-man. He's got great quickness out of breaks, and you saw what he did to a safety trying to cover him.
Second possession for LA. It's Gurley. Gurley gets 3. The night before Super Bowl 53, the NFL's brightest stars will come together to salute the best players, plays, and moments from the 2018 season. Tune in to NFL Honors on February 2nd at 9 Eastern on CBS. Rams so far have thrown it 3 times, run it 8. 2nd and 7. Gurley right side. Crosses the 30 to the 31. Crawford and Woods combined on the stop. A gain of 3. 3rd and 4 coming.
You talk about how the Rams have come out running the football. I think there is a tendency when you talk about the Rams to think of Goff and their explosive plays in the passing game, but they run the ball 43% of the time, which is also the same amount as the Dallas Cowboys. So when you think of Dallas, yeah, you know that they run the ball. Well, the Rams run the ball every bit as much as what Dallas does. And obviously with Todd Gurley, they're very productive doing it.
3rd down and 4. Goff, pass caught. Woods, first down. And the former USC Trojan back in his collegiate home stadium, coming off a career year.
I love Robert Woods. I think he is arguably the best receiver in football when you consider everything that he does. There's simply nothing he doesn't do. Obviously, he can catch the ball. He can also go deep. He runs the intermediate stuff. You saw the shallow route there to get open, but he blocks. He's also an outstanding runner once he has the ball in his hands when they run him on some of those jet sweeps. A very unselfish player.
Goff gets hit by Smith. The pass is short. Contact, but no flag. Here's the pressure.
This time they bring Jalen Smith, and he's got a free run. They're just allowing these guys to get shots. Then on Goff, he has Higbee. I think the ball might have been tipped coming out. It was either tipped, and then there would not be any pass interference, or they may have deemed it a ball that was uncatchable. But both Van Der Esch now and Jalen Smith have impacted throws on Goff that would have been for big plays.
Pass is dropped by Woods. After all the bouquets and all the nice things you said about him, he just dumps it on the ground, and it's 3rd and 10.
I know, what a year he's had. He had his first 1,000-yard season, but he is really a special player. And Brandon Cooks, who plays opposite of him, of course, they lost Cooper Kupp, their slot receiver, who was a terrific player, and Robert Woods has had to play more in the slot position as a result of that.
He's sitting inside now on 3rd and 10. Goff Good protection pass to Cooks. Depends on where they put it.
That's going to be close. We'll see now whether or not.
Going to be a yard short.
Yeah, whether or not Sean McVay wants to go for it, much like what Jason Garrett did at midfield. Although the Rams, yeah, they're going to go for it as well.
They went for it during the season 15 times. They made it 6 times.
Now I do like this call. I do like this call, knowing that some of the issues, the Rams, they've got to score a lot of points, and they've got to help out that defense.
Goff keeps, gets it. The old Aikman keeper. That's what they call it around the NFL. A gain of 3 on 4th and 1.
They've been calling it that for years.
The ball at the 48.
They get right back on the line.
Wizard! Good money, flank 4!
Here's a toss to Reynolds. A lot of room. Heath comes closing down on it, delivers the hit, and a gain of 9.
That's just some of the stuff that the Rams do. They employ a lot of different looks. They get the receivers involved in the run game. They make you defend the field vertically as well as horizontally. And you see Higbee out there. You know, he was upset with himself. He thought he was the reason why there wasn't more out of that, but there was pursuit coming from the inside, but a nice first down play.
Second and 1. Anderson's got it, and plenty more down inside the 30. And a carry of 15 yards.
I tell you, John Sullivan, I talked about it earlier in the first drive, but these two guys, Sullivan and Saffold, the left guard, they're just moving people right now. The Cowboys, they're not accustomed to this. I like the tempo that Sean McVay's employing as well, giving Goff a chance to survey the defense, and then they make the call based on the look. It makes the defense declare right away. Sometimes they snap it early, and sometimes they hold him at the line like he's doing now, but the defense has to declare.
Timeout taken by the sideline and Sean McVay. When we come back, first down for the Rams, trailing at home by 4. Some of the celebs in attendance tonight. We got Peyton and Kurt, Josh Duhamel, Ty Burrell, big Rams fan. Danny Trejo, who gets his crowd fired up. The great ED, Eric Dickerson. And King James. LeBron and the Lakers have a late afternoon game tomorrow against Cleveland. And everybody filing through the gates here to watch the Rams and the Cowboys in an entertaining opening quarter so far, as LA has a first down, trailing at home here by 4. They fake the delayed handoff. Goff finds Woods out on the edge, and a nice first down play as Robert Woods gets 9. This February, buckle up for the biggest race day of the year. The Daytona 500 on Fox. The Great American Race kicks off the 2019 NASCAR season this February right here and only on Fox. Won by Austin Dillon in 2018, and Joey Logano is the 2018 Cup Series champion as they start it all back up. Now 2nd and 1. Anderson back in there. He is brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Malik Collins, who had the only sack for the Cowboys against the Seahawks. Loss of 1, so 3rd and 2.
Malik Collins, number 96, and he's able to get by Austin Blythe. I don't know exactly what Blythe was, like a miscommunication on exactly what the assignment was, but Malik Collins, you're right. You know, he and Antoine Woods last week, they were playing on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage for a good part of that game. Both those guys played very well, and it's why Seattle had such a hard time running the football.
One quarter in the books. Cowboys leading after one. Back after this from your local Fox station. Contrary to popular belief, that is not Sean McVay's picture from his introductory press conference when he got hired by the Rams. There's a bit of intertwined history. McVay was born about 3 weeks after Tom Landry last coached a playoff game for the Cowboys. You start looking at the numbers in that incredible body of work. Here is a first down carry by Anderson, who's just been incredible. Sets up first down and goal. And Sean McVay has restored glory here to this Rams franchise. A carry of 12 yards to bring up first and goal.
This offensive line is just doing a masterful job up front. When you look at how well the Rams have run the ball, that was really one of the questions coming in. Could the Rams run the ball and control the line of scrimmage against this very dominant defensive front? The answer so far has been yes.
Play action. Goff out to his right, surveying. Pass is caught for the touchdown by Cooks. And let's make sure it was a clean catch. The uniform's dirty. Is the catch clean? And that ball bounced.
Yeah, that ball is incomplete.
Should bring up second and goal.
You see Byron Jones had his left hand in there, and just enough to be able to jar it loose.
It's a scoring play, so it's under review. And as I look down to my right, with the world's greatest security blanket named Mike
Previous
Pereira,
play will be reviewed.
He says it's incomplete, and if he says it, I believe it. Mike, incomplete?
I think it's incomplete all the way, Joe. You know, it comes loose, it hits the ground. He actually loses possession there. So a simple reversal that hopefully won't take long. We'll find out what they say when they come back.
During the break, they made the announcement that the catch was no good. The call of touchdown is overturned. Second down and goal with a ball inside the 10. Play number 14 of this long drive. Second possession for LA. Anderson. Jalen Smith. Third down and goal. So you talk about third downs. Cowboys held the Seahawks to 2 for 13 on third downs last week. So far, 2 out of 4 for the Rams on third down. It's third and goal.
You just wonder if they're able to pick up some yards here and yet not score. What Sean McVay might be thinking.
Goff backpedaling, back corner of the end zone, incomplete for Cooks. Couldn't keep his feet down. And the field goal unit comes on for the Rams as the Cowboys make another stop defensively deep in their own territory.
Yeah, the Cowboys defensively this season, they've been good down here in the red zone and forcing teams to have to settle for field goals. And as prolific as this Rams offense has been, it's an area where they have not been so good. They came in at the end of the regular season 18th in red zone offense. So as good as they've been dominating the line of scrimmage, moving the football on 2 opening possessions, having to settle for another field goal.
23-yard try. And here's the near touchdown. And despite running 25 plays, the Rams have put up just 6 points and trail by 1. Well, for the Rams, they were the number 18 red zone offense across the NFL in 2018, converting 57.5% of the time. Trips inside the 20 into touchdowns, but it went in there 80 times. By far the most trips inside the 20 across the league, and the most since at least the year 2000. They've been down there twice, and they've had to settle for field goals. So the Cowboys defensively have been bending, but haven't broken yet. Here's Lewis, well covered downfield, and inside the 20, Troy Hill makes the stop. And a return of 15 yards. Well, this Monday is finally here. Based on the best-selling trilogy, The Passage, Fox brings you the biggest television event of the new year with Mark Paul Gosselaar. The Passage premieres.
Joe, come on. You had one job. Actually, you're right. And being the professional that you are, and because I'm Dutch, the correct pronunciation is Gosselaar. Go ahead, give it a shot. And thanks for the promo. The Passage premieres this Monday.
Glad to have you at Fox, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
There you go.
You mess up a teenage heartthrob's name, and Twitter lets you have it. Who could figure that?
That's not all they let you have it for.
It's a fun world. Pass is caught by Schultz, the rookie tight end. How about this start for Dak Prescott? He threw a little behind Dalton Schultz, but he has started out red hot 4 for 4.
Yeah, he really has, and he hasn't gotten a lot of work here lately with the drive that the Rams put together. They come off of the play action. They're able to find Schultz, and he's more of their traditional tight end that does a lion's share of the blocking, but he's certainly capable of getting in there and making some plays like he just did.
Only seen Cole Beasley out there offensively for the Cowboys on one play as Elliott carries it to the 40 on first down. He gets 3. So he sprained his ankle on the 4th play from scrimmage against Seattle last week. Blake Jarwin later in the game did the same, and that horrific injury for Allen Hurns. Had surgery that night, recovering well, and watching and rooting on his Cowboy teammates. 2nd down and 7. Austin swallowed up. Tavon Austin, the former Ram, loses 2. 3rd down coming up.
That's such a good job by the Rams, Joe. You hear me talk about it every week, that these teams that like to come out and throw those quick screens like that, the only way to really defense it is you just got to go after. You got to be aggressive, and there's a good look at Wade Phillips, who a lot of people have questioned this defense throughout the season, and some of the points they've given up, the yards they've given up on the ground. Of course, they gave up a touchdown to Amari Cooper on the big play. Let's see if they can get off the field here on 3rd down.
Prescott pulls it down, stays alive, and throws incomplete for Gallup. It's 4th down, and good work by this Rams defense on 3rd down.
Well, he almost got away, and it looked like that if he had taken off running right there, that he might have been able to pick it up, or if he had gotten away from Ndamukong Suh at the very end. So the Rams do a good job after their offense goes down to make it a 1-point game of getting off the field.
Jones will punt. JoJo Natson, who fumbled twice over the final 3 games of the season, returning punts, waits for it, and knuckleball will take a bounce and settle near the 24. So now the Rams defense makes a stop. Suh has come out ready to play tonight.
Only at Burger King. By the all-new Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. And by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
You gotta take advantage of your opportunity, man. It's about working together for one goal, bro. It's for one goal, bro. Win, win, win.
One of these 2 teams will be playing next Sunday in the NFC Championship game, the Rams or the Cowboys. Rams so far have had the ball twice. They've run 25 plays, have 127 yards, 8 first downs, but only 6 points. Toss to Gurley. And the vet, Sean Lee, makes the stop. Gain of 4.
Yeah, Sean Lee, who just had 4 snaps, just played 4 downs last week in the wild card win over the Seattle Seahawks a year ago. They couldn't win a game without Sean Lee. This year, he can't get on the field because of how well the rookie Leighton Vander Esch has played. And looks like that might be Antoine Woods up at the top of the screen, who's injured. That'd be a significant loss because of what he's able to do inside, and his bulk and his ability and athleticism to move the pocket. That's a good sign with him walking off. But the Rams, the way they've run the ball, Joe, it has been impressive. They're averaging almost 6 yards a carry here in this first half. Running the football, they're closing in on 100 yards.
Talking to Sean McVay, he said, you know, the deal with Gurley is with 3 weeks of rest, it's more of a cardio issue as opposed to any kind of an injury situation with that left knee. It cost him the last 2 games of the regular season. He tore the ACL in that left knee in November of 2014 at Georgia. So we've seen Gurley and Anderson. Now we see Goff deliver a strike to Brandon Cooks. Completion of 20 yards.
Well, they shore up protection. They help out on DeMarcus Lawrence, and what a great route at the top. Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods, 2 of the best route runners in football at the top of the route, creating separation. He gives Jared Goff a big target. That's a great job with that speed, and you get down the field that far at 18, 20 yards, you're going to get a defensive back running out of there thinking he's going to go by him.
You know who helped out blocking DeMarcus Lawrence? Robert Woods.
Not surprised.
On first down. Goff, strike, Woods, first down. Inside Dallas territory to their 36.
Well, hey, we came in talking about some of the struggles of this offense and how Jared Goff and the rest of the crew has not looked the same as they did through the first 12 games, and they look awfully good tonight. They're kind of doing pretty much anything they want. They just got to finish some drives when they get down in the red zone.
Van Der Esch is on the sideline. Sean Lee stays out there for Dallas. A screen for Higbee, the tight end. Picking his way for a first down.
You know, Joe, when the Cowboys played the Saints, they held them to 10 points. And obviously an explosive offense. I said coming in, I think this is the biggest test of the year. And the reason is, yeah, they have Drew Brees, the Saints do. They've got a third-year quarterback here. But the Rams have so many weapons. It's not just Woods, Gurley, and Cooks. They got Higbee, they got Gerald Everett, they got Josh Reynolds, and they involve everybody, and they put stress on the defense.
Here's Gurley. Little stutter step and a nice carry on first down. Jalen Smith gets the tackle. A gain of 9.
Well, you have to control the nose if you're going to run the football. And John Sullivan, the 11-year veteran, is just dominating right there in the middle, and he continues to win his battles. And that's why we're seeing some of these huge lanes for the Rams running backs, Gurley and C.J. Anderson. This group they got dominated against Chicago Bears, but they're putting it on the Cowboys defensive front.
2nd and 1, Anderson, first down. John Sullivan, the center, and Andrew Whitworth, 2 of the 5 offensive linemen, and 2 guys who are older than their head coach. Whitworth, by the way, is 0 for 7. A tremendous pro, a great guy, big-hearted left tackle, and looking for that first playoff win after going 0 for 6 with the Bengals.
Well, hey, Joe, I talked about it a moment ago. Whitworth, Saffold, and Sullivan have over 400 career starts. Only 1 playoff win amongst them.
Here's one to Higbee, and through his hands, coverage by Heath. And the big tight end, Tyler Higbee and Jeff Heath were stride for stride.
Yeah, and Goff gives him a good ball. That's one that Higbee should have caught. He threw it right where you want to in that matchup. Heath was in good coverage, but he put it up high where Higbee could turn and make a play on it. So he fails to make a catch that would have been a touchdown. And then, of course, Brandon Cooks, he didn't make the play on the previous possession.
Two red zone stalls for this offense. Here's Anderson. Sets up 1st and goal at the 1. And of the 2 backs, C.J. Anderson has been the one with the most burst. And that's his 4th carry of 10 or more yards today.
They're just gashing him right inside with the movement.
Here he is, cuts back, and reaches for the touchdown. journey for C.J. Anderson in 2018, and he just put the Rams on top in a divisional playoff game.
Well, at 225 pounds, he's like a little bowling ball. I mean, he just runs over people at 5'8". He's got a low center of gravity. He's hard to get to the ground. We've seen it now for the last 3 games that he's played. And another guy who was once wearing the black and silver in Oakland who got away.
So for C.J. Anderson, 4 carries of 10 or more yards in this game. Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott have none so far. And the former Bronco, and former Panther, and former Raider, as Troy said, scores for L.A. The Rams could lead by 6.
And the job that they've done, the Rams have rushed for over 114 yards already here with a quarter and a half into the game. And the blocks down the field, they're controlling the inside with those interior players, and then they're getting up to the linebackers, and it's just been too much for this Dallas Cowboys defense. And there's a touchdown. Jalen Smith, he makes contact on C.J. Anderson, but like I said, he's just low to the ground. He's powerful. He's hard to tackle. He breaks a lot of tackles. He moves a lot of people, and the Rams now have scored on all 3 of their possessions.
And lead by 6. Cowboys have run the ball for only 11 yards, and they're about to have it for the 3rd time. And they'll have it, by the way, to start the second half. 7 minutes left in this first half, and Dak Prescott goes back to work.
Well, Wade Phillips has always believed that even though they give up yards on the ground, that when they have to be able to play run defense, he's always believed that his team could do it. Now, they didn't do it against Seattle in either ball game, and that's a similar style of offense as the Cowboys. And I wasn't so certain they were going to be able to do it here tonight, but they sure have here for the first quarter and a half.
Here's Elliott as they try to establish that ground game, and he gets 5. A nice carry through traffic, and Littleton, who's going to the Pro Bowl as a special teamer and who's played a lot, taking the place of the departed Alec Ogletree, who was dealt to the Giants prior to the year. He's been good at linebacker. Beasley back in there. We haven't seen him much. Second play by my count, 2nd and 5. Blitz off the edge. Prescott throws and nearly picked. Ebukam almost had a walk into the end zone. Instead, it's 3rd and 5.
It just does not get any better for a linebacker who's dropping out. Ebukam, he reads it, he sees it, he's got eyes on Prescott, and he just can't make the play. This is a Rams defense that has thrived on takeaways.
Ebukam had a pick that he returned for a touchdown during the regular season, almost added one a moment ago, 3rd and 5. And penalty flags fly before the snap. And they're going to grant the timeout instead of call Dallas for a delay of game. So timeout before a 3rd and 5, and we'll be right back after this from Progressive.
We're doing karaoke later, and you're going to sing.
Jamie, this is your house?
I know, it's not much, but it's home. Right, kids?
Kids. You didn't tell me your friends were coming?
Oh, yeah.
This one is tiny like a child.
Yeah, she is. Oh, but seriously, it's good to be surrounded by what matters most. A home and auto bundle from Progressive.
Oh, sweetie, please, play for us.
Oh, no, I couldn't. Okay.
Third down and 5. With Cole Beasley, one of the league's best 3rd down weapons, on the sideline again for Dallas.
I think it's a defining third down for this stage of the game, considering how well the Rams have moved the ball on offense. They don't want to give the ball right back to that group.
Prescott steps through, passes high, and incomplete for Cooper. Prescott had a lot of room in front of him if he wanted to pull it down and run. But he threw too high for Amari Cooper. It's 4th down.
Yeah, he's got a step on Mark Barron, and the Rams really do not like to play man coverage. They just have not held up very well. They've given up a lot of big plays in man coverage, but if Prescott's able to hit Amari Cooper there in stride, who knows? Mark Barron, if he doesn't make the play there, he's running a long way.
To his left, able to corral the kick, and makes moves out across the 35 where LB Ladouceur, the long snapper, made the tackle. And a nice return by JoJo Natson. We'll welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, and I thought there was a chance coming in the Rams might remind everybody just how good they are offensively. I think that's happened here in the first half.
Boy, I do too. And the Rams, when you look at them and you say, okay, the Bears did a good job against the Rams on offense, held them to 215 yards of offense. But they've played other good defenses. They've played the Seattle Seahawks. They went for over 450. They played Minnesota. They had over 400 yards. They played a lot of good defensive teams, and they've gone through them, and so they're accustomed to that, and they've had their way against this Cowboys defense.
Here's Anderson again, who's got the Rams touchdown and a carry of 6 on 1st down as the Rams are on a pace for over 400 yards in this one.
Yeah, you look at it, and the Rams, of course, up 6 with 5.5 minutes to play, and can they take the ball down and extend their lead and not give Dallas another opportunity before the half?
Seems like a linebacker rotation for the Dallas Cowboys now. Van Der Esch and Lee are in there, and Jalen Smith is on the sideline. Anderson, what a game he's had. Gets 8 and another 1st down.
Yeah, and Robert Woods, he's in the middle of it, blocking as he does so well. He's really good at just digging people out, and this offense, you watch them practice, it's not surprising they execute the way they do.
Goff, Anderson, and a loss on the play. And now they're going to say incomplete as that ball bounced. Well, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was one of those play action passes. They're hoping to get a shot down the field to Robert Woods. So they incorporate a lot of things within their passing game to where they're able to try to see if they can get the shot, and then if it's not there, they've got answers then coming underneath. The Cowboys play it very well. Xavier Woods on the backside of that. It's an excellent job by Goff seeing where the backside coverage was and not trying to make the throw.
Second and 10, screen for Gurley. Well played by Dallas. A big play as Reed, one of the defensive linemen, and Anthony Brown combined for the stop. Karan Reed, a free agent, 1st year with Dallas. Good work.
Yeah, real good work. So now they get a 3rd and long, and what makes it interesting is if they do make a stop here, they get the ball with a lot of time left in the half, and they come out to start the 2nd half with possession of the football.
So a big 3rd down. Goff steps into it, pass incomplete, but a flag is thrown. Rams indicate it's against Dallas. See if there's hands to the face up top here.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense. 31. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Boy, that is a large call against Byron Jones, the Pro Bowl corner, with that right hand up to the face.
Yeah, that was a good call. And Byron Jones, he's had some penalties this year, and that was about as critical as it gets to be able to make a big stop on 3rd and long and yet give the Rams a new set of downs.
Jalen Smith back in there, creeping up to the line, now backing off. Goff throws. throws. Pass caught. Cooks first down. Awuzie on the stop and a completion of 15.
This is an element of the Rams offense you just simply don't see a lot of around the league. Watch the timing of Jared Goff. Back foot hits, bang, the ball's out. And he knows that Brandon Cooks is going to be where he's supposed to be and create separation. A lot of trust within this passing game. They executed as well as anybody I've seen this year.
Gurley. Lot of room. Inside the 20. He is gone. Touchdown, Rams.
Watch this offensive line. Sullivan, Blythe, Saffold. Look at the job that those three guys do interior-wise and the push that they have right there. And the lane then right through the middle. It's one-on-one on the safety, and good luck Xavier Woods trying to make a tackle on Todd Gurley.
.point game. The Rams with 162 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, and now Dak Prescott and this Cowboys offense trying to play catch-up.
It is demoralizing for a defensive team. This team defensively, the entire Cowboys team comes in with great confidence, but especially this defense, the way that they have played throughout this season, coming off a huge win defensively last week, and to just have the ball run right down your throat the entire first half. They just don't have an answer for it.
35-yard touchdown run by Todd Gurley. The All-Pro, second time, and the reigning Offensive Player of the Year. See that bottom line, that big penalty on Byron Jones that extended the drive, and you give the Rams another opportunity at it, and they usually make you pay. Look at the difference in time of possession. Dominated by the home team. Lewis on the return again. Wow. What a collision. And that play was made by John Kelly with help from Kaderol Hodge. The new LA Stadium in Inglewood, California, more than 60% complete and will open in the summer of 2020. The new stadium will host both the Rams and the Chargers, as well as Super Bowl 56 in 2022.
That place is something, isn't it? I didn't think there'd be anything that would top what Jerry Jones did there in Dallas, but I think this one might just do it.
On first down, Prescott sets up a screen for Elliott. Nice cutback and a good start to this possession with over 3 to go. Aaron Andrews.
Well, guys, you saw the time of possession there, and I'll tell you, when Dallas's defense came over to the sideline, they were gassed, and Chris Richard just getting in the faces of his linebackers, urging them on. Jalen Smith walking up and down prior to that, just saying, we have to be more physical. We need to be more physical. They're just looking for any kind of stop.
There's a completion to Amari Cooper, who is wrestled out of bounds by Talib. And a gain of 5. You see the smoke. That's not fog. That's smoke settling in over the playing field from the fireworks and the pyrotechnics that went off on that 35-yard run by Gurley. It's like a fog. Shoved Littleton away and carried it for 15 yards.
Yeah, he's something. He can hit top speed with just a few steps, and the power and the stiff arms, and he's got great vision too in order to see where the cutback lanes are. And you know, a lot of football left to be played. Just now hitting the 2-minute warning, and they're going to continue to feed the ball to Elliott.
That 15-yard carry, his longest of the game. Previous long was 5. Opportunity for Dallas as they trail by 13. 2 left. Commissioner Roger Goodell is making the rounds. He's here tonight. Had a visit before the game with Stan Kroenke and Jerry Jones. A first down for Dallas. There's Beasley back in the ball game. Handoff to Elliott. Brockers can't bring him down. And Elliott on first down, tackled by Sue after a gain of 6.
Didn't have much to show for it there before this drive running the football, but Ezekiel Elliott, he's starting to heat up. And remember, this Cowboys offense, 5th in the National Football League, scoring points inside of 2 minutes in the first half.
Prescott, Sue looks like he's out of gas. The pass is incomplete. Caught by Cooper, but out of bounds. Third down coming up. Tune in on Sunday, January 27th at 3 Eastern to watch the NFL's best battle for AFC and NFC pride as traditional rivals join forces at the 2019 Pro Bowl presented by Verizon. And here's another important third down, 3rd and 4.
Third down here. Maher has hit from here, but I don't think Jason Garrett or anyone would feel real good about that attempt. We'll pick up this first down.
Prescott, Jarwin, first down. John Johnson out there, a talented young safety for the Rams. A gain of 4 and a big first down with 1:26 left in the half here at the Coliseum.
That's a good job by Jarwin, getting the necessary depth and knowing where the first down marker was.
Elliott, Talib, good work. The 32-year-old, 11-year veteran corner, good enough to bring down Elliott after a gain of 3.
Not easy to do. You see the stiff arm, and he is able to make the tackle and keep the clock running.
Well, with 2 timeouts, I'm sure the Cowboys don't mind that. Get a score and not leave Goff any time to do anything about the scoreboard before the half. Prescott throws behind a wide open Michael Gallup. So third down again.
Well, it was a good design, too, by the Cowboys. There was a lot of open field there in front of Michael Gallup. They run a receiver through the middle. If he hits him in stride, he probably picks up a good 20 yards.
Prescott 3 for 8 after a 5 for 5 start. In trouble, stays up with help, and now they're going to call the play dead.
Wow.
They're going to call in the grasp, and if he was in anybody's grasp, it was the grasp of Lyle Collins.
Yeah, I think Lyle had more hold of him than anybody on this play. Lyle's got him right there around the waist. The Rams don't have him at all.
Mike Pereira, what are your thoughts on that play?
Well, in the grasp means basically that one opponent has you in the grass with a second opponent bearing down on you, and you look to protect the quarterback. In this one, I don't quite see that. I think it would have been better with Dak's ability to scramble to let him get away.
And Garrett is thinking in the grasp of my right tackle, his teammate, if anybody. And it brings up 4th down at 14. The Rams use their second timeout. And with that loss on the in the grasp call of 7 yards, it kicks them out of field goal range.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot with Prescott when we've called the games, when they have been in field goal range only to take a sack and then knock them out of field goal position.
End over end, and corralled by the Rams, and the return out across the 25 by Sam Shields, the former Packer. Saw an opportunity and took it, and gets the return. Here's Kurt with what's coming up at halftime.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, these guys will break down what we've seen in the first half. Plus, the Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship game. Also, Laura Aikman has an interview with KC tight end Travis Kelce. Make sure you sit tight. The Visa Halftime is next.
Well, it
was a great run by the Indianapolis Colts, and what a job by first-year head coach Frank Reich to get them into that spot. But the Kansas City Chiefs are moving on, and they'll host either the Patriots or the Chargers next Sunday late. And you see the combined work tonight by the two backs for the Rams. Dominant performance so far by C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I'll comment on that, Joe. Great job by Frank Reich of the Indianapolis Colts. That's something that they can build on. 1-5. They make the postseason. Awfully impressive.
Here's Gurley. Heath, he bounces off Heath and gets out of bounds. And if nothing else, with Heath not wrapping up, Gurley able to stop the clock with 28 seconds left at the end of an 8-yard run.
Jeff Heath, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He reminds me a lot of a former teammate of mine, Billy Bates. They made the special teams Pro Bowl player because of the way Bill Bates played special teams. He was like a kamikaze pilot out there on the field, just banging into everything, and he's just like that.
Second down and 2. Great protection. Pass to Gurley over the middle. Clock will run. First down Rams. Timeout taken by Sean McVay. No timeouts left now for the Rams. Well, so far there have been 6 head coaching positions filled, 8 coming in the past couple of weeks. You see that bottom line. The Bengals and the Dolphins, their jobs are still open, but then the rumors start flying around. It seems like maybe each team has their man, and you see Zach Taylor, the former assistant to the tight ends coach and now the quarterbacks coach for the Rams, and he seems like he may be headed to Cincinnati.
Yeah, it seems like if you've had as much as a cup of coffee with Sean McVay, then
yes,
you're going to be a candidate for a head coaching position.
Actually, McVay's barista at Starbucks interviewed for 3 head coaching jobs over the last 2 weeks. Didn't get any. Here is a pass. It's nearly picked by Awuzie. Reynolds the target. And now 17 seconds left. And Awuzie almost made a big play for this Dallas team.
Yeah, it looked like he had a clean shot at it, but Reynolds actually was in a position to at least interfere with it somewhat. But Awuzie there to possibly stem the tide, but still just 17 seconds here for the Rams with no timeouts.
Second and 10. Pass is caught, but the clock will run. That's Woods. And the Rams, that's about as good as I've seen in a long time of a team getting up to the line and spiking it to stop the clock with 3 seconds left.
That's well done. You're right, because what was there, 12 seconds on the clock after the catch was made, and he went down. To be able to get the clock stopped like that is really impressive. It's well done. Great execution.
Well, Zerline's going to try it with 3 seconds left. You see the play clock. Down to 11. This would be a 63-yard field goal. It would be his career long and be a record for the NFL postseason. Hits it. Pushed it. And our score at the half, 20-7 LA. The play of the first half is presented by DirecTV. More for your thing. That's our thing. It's been a fun first half. How about the 35-yard touchdown run by Todd Gurley? Rams reminding the NFL world just how good they are, especially on offense. The Rams with 170 yards on the ground in the half. Visa halftime coming up after the break. Game flow brought to you by Progressive. French Montana played here at the Coliseum at the half. 13-point game with half to go. Welcome back to the booth. I'm Joe Buck along with either California or Oklahoma Aikman to my left. That was a big miss by Dak Prescott on Gallup on that last possession by the Dallas Cowboys, and they get the ball to start the second half. They got to get something done.
Yeah, kept them from coming away with points there at the end of the first half. I agree. This opening possession for the Cowboys to start this second half is huge. You know, they're doing some good things. They finally got Ezekiel Elliott going, and now it's just a matter of completing some of those passes that are there for Dak Prescott, because if they fail to score, you know, the way the Rams have moved the ball, they had 5 possessions. They scored on the first 4. The only reason they didn't score on the 5th was because they ran out of time. But they've had their way with the defense, and now this offense is going to have to climb their way back into it, and starts with this possession.
For the Rams, it was the greatest show on grass in that first half. 170 yards rushing. And this was a good run defense for the Dallas Cowboys, both last week, albeit at home against Seattle. And really all year long, they were 5th ranked, but you wouldn't know it after a half of play here tonight in this divisional playoff.
Yeah, and the Rams obviously present a much different challenge than the Seattle Seahawks, who really are all about running the football. And when they can't run the ball, they struggle. The Rams, being so balanced, they make you play every facet of the offense.
So the drive for the Cowboys will start at the 25. Down to Aaron Andrews we go.
And Joe, if there was any question that this defense was tired, I got to tell you, I was almost hit by 5 guys that were charging out of the locker room. So they were raring, ready to go. Jason Garrett telling me that we are simply losing our gaps. We are not physical enough. We knew we had to stop the run coming in, and we're just not doing it. And for his offense, he just said 3rd down, converting on that, huge problem. They're 1 for 5. He pointed to Ezekiel Elliott coming out, and he said, we have to give 21 the ball.
And they start with 21 getting the ball, and there is the great, and I mean the great, Aaron Donald making the stop after a gain of 2. And here's Chris Myers.
Well, Sean McVay, fired up, came out of the locker room ready to chest bump anybody who was nearby, reminding, I don't know if it was his team or himself, that there's another half to play, but he has controlled the clock in the game with his 1-2 running back punch. The defensive shifts changed when Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters came over after that initial touchdown and talked to the rest of the defense and said, calm down, we're the better defense on this field.
2nd down and 8. Blitz coming. Cowboys pick it up, but the throw is too low for Elliott. And his body language showing some frustration. There were some yards out there for Elliott, but Prescott couldn't get it to him.
Yeah, and Prescott knows that's on him. He recognized the blitz. They brought a boot cam off the edge, and he had time to make an accurate throw to Elliott. And he just has not, and it happens. You know, you get into games, the speed of the game, you're rushed, you're not making accurate throws. He just has not been able to settle in yet in this ball game.
Elliott starts in the slot. Throw is to him, and it's off his arm and nearly picked off by John Johnson. So a 3 and out to start this second half for the Cowboys, trailing by 13.
And I don't know what happened there. If Elliott was trying to hook up and then he just slips, or because it did not appear that the throw is what made him have to go to the ground. But this is not what the Cowboys had wanted coming out to start this second half. They go 3 and out.
And Dallas tonight 1 for 6 on 3rd down. Good punt. Matson to his right. Well done with the punter. Well done with the coverage. 46-yard punt, nothing on the return. If you want to go back to the 99 Rams, Kurt Warner coming out of nowhere, leading them to a Super Bowl win, the only Super Bowl win in franchise history. See where they ranked in 99 across the NFL, and they did show that. Call that rather the greatest show on turf, and the Rams are 2nd, and they can thank Kansas City and the Chiefs for being 2nd, not 1st. And good to have Kurt in the building. He's doing radio tonight.
Got a chance to visit with Kurt Warner down on the field before the game, and what a great guy he is.
Handoff here to Gurley. Got his legs underneath him as that first half went along. Carried it for a 35-yard touchdown at one point. Gained 6 here.
You know, you talk about the Rams offense and where they ranked in all this year. The year before Sean McVay got to the Rams, they were last in pretty much every single category. And in one season, he turns them around. They led the league in scoring last year. Talk about a difference a coach can make.
Goff protected. Pass incomplete for Reynolds. Yeah, the numbers are pretty incredible thanks to the arrival of the guy on the left who will turn 33 in a couple of weeks. 24 and 8, 31 points per game. And as you said, a 4-12 team the year before he got here, and they averaged 14 points a contest. 3rd down and 4. And that's why everybody's looking for the quote-unquote next Sean McVay. But he's more than just an offensive mind. He's just a good head coach. Goff throws, Cooks, 1st down inside Dallas territory. And a completion of 22.
Such a great throw by Jared Goff, and Brandon Cooks runs an excellent route. He doesn't tip it off whatsoever. He goes then to the corner, ball thrown on time. It's just an excellent job. We see Sean McVay. Now what they do, they're not doing it now. They're in what you would call a sugar huddle where they're only 4 yards off the ball. They get to the line. They get to the line with plenty of time, and it gives Sean McVay an opportunity to survey the defense and then talk to Goff and change the call. So essentially, he's calling the game from the line of scrimmage based on what he sees in the defense.
Cut back by Gurley. Leaves Jones grasping, and Gurley picks up 18.
I think that knee's just fine for Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I would say. And by the way, that's not a knock on Jared Goff. Like, he can't handle what a defense is showing him, but why not use 2 minds there to try to figure out what to do? And Goff and McVay,
absolutely
really special.
Yeah, it's really smart. Now, they're not doing it here. They were doing it throughout that first half. Once the play clock gets to 15 seconds, then he cannot communicate any longer with Jared Goff.
Here's Anderson. They don't need to throw it. They're knocking on the door of a 200-yard game on the ground already, and they've already put up the most yards rushing against the Cowboys all season.
Well, you watch the Cowboys now, the way they're walking back to the huddle. I mean, they're defeated is what they are, and you just don't see that from this group. I mean, they're always flying around the ball and the effort that you see from them, but they're a beaten down defense right now.
Dodger, Cardinal.
Anderson. 3rd down coming. The time of possession, 22 minutes to 10 minutes. So that defense, even with all that youth, they're tired.
Well, they've just brought in DeMarcus Lawrence, and they're going to see if they can get some pressure here on Jared Goff to make a stop and end this drive.
Ball's on the ground. Looked like Goff may have gotten back on top of it. He did. It's 4th down. But a loss of 4, and that'll bring Zerline and the field goal unit on for LA.
Boy, that's what the Cowboys needed too. They needed a break right here, and it hits Robert Woods. They were not going to give the ball to Woods. It was just part of the action in the backfield. He's going to turn and hand it to Anderson, but it hits Woods' hip. And the Rams avoid a turnover that could have cost them points if they make this here.
Still no turnovers in this game. 44-yard try. Zerline. An all-pro from a year ago. Missed 5 games with a groin injury, but one of the best in the league. Makes it 23-7 LA. Go today. Joe Willie Namath. The Jets beating the Colts in Super Bowl III, January 12th of 1969. He finished his career with the LA Rams in '77. Started only 4 games, went 2-2, and is one of the most big-hearted, wonderful people you can meet. And so he's been weighing in, by the way, on Adam Gase going to the Jets.
I bet he has.
What he will be for Sam Darnold.
For some, it's probably odd to see Joe Namath in a LA Rams uniform, but not for me. I was a big Rams fan back in the day, living in Southern California. And some of those players that Vince Ferragamo, he was my guy as the quarterback, leading them to the Super Bowl. Nolan Cromwell, Lawrence McCutcheon, Jack Youngblood, there's Jack Snow. There's so many guys. Fred Dreyer. I could almost go through the entire roster on that team, and brought back a lot of memories for me when the Rams moved back to Los Angeles, and even tonight with them wearing the uniforms that they wore back when I was rooting for them.
Here's Elliott, well played. Sue. And if Sue didn't get him, Ebukam was out there for the Rams.
Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh, he's having a night, and it was going to be required, all hands on deck, in order to contain Ezekiel Elliott. And we mentioned Aaron Donald on the previous possession, but we haven't talked about him a lot. And yet the Rams are still leading 23-7. I mean, Aaron Donald obviously is the focus. He's the #1 question every offense has to ask. How are we going to handle him? But the entire defensive unit has really played solid containing Elliott.
Second down and 13 after the loss of 3. Left alone is Gallup. And Gallup, a big play out to the 50. Nickel Roby-Coleman eventually brought him down, but a 27-yard hookup with Prescott and the rookie.
Well, I don't know what this is by Marcus Peters, 22. This is about as poor an effort of tackling, and that's some of what I saw in getting ready for this game by a number of other players leading up to it. I hadn't seen much of it tonight. Not very good by Marcus Peters, but a big play for Dallas, getting the ball to Gallup.
A 27-yarder, the second longest play for the Cowboys in the game. The longest, the 29-yard touchdown for Cooper. They go right back, and Marcus Peters says, okay, Aikman, you think I didn't bring down Gallup on that last play? No gain on this completion.
Well, that's the way to do it. Come up, be aggressive before he can catch the ball and really create any space and make you miss. They started to run Michael Brockers off the field and told him to get back out there. Soft coverage on the outside.
And that was right in between Cooper and Beasley to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Wow.
Both were open, and Prescott threw it between them. It looked like.
Joe, there were 4 guys open. They're playing 12 yards off the ball. The corners are. There's no coverage. And throw it to Beasley. Throw it to the outside.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Cowboys 1 for 6 on 3rd down. Prescott, pass is complete. Forward progress is just short of a 1st down, but you're almost compelled to go for it here on 4th and less than 1.
Yeah, no question. There's not even a decision to be made, and you know, they went for it on the opening possession at midfield, and being down 16 points now.
That was Gallup on the reception. An extra offensive lineman, Cameron Fleming, comes in. Elliott during the regular season 13 of 19 on 3rd down and 1. This is a 4th down and 1. The fullback Olawale now split out wide to the left. Toss to Elliott, 1st down. The play was almost blown up right off the snap.
It was Aaron Donald who got an amazing jump off the ball. I thought maybe he was going to be called offsides, but he comes timed it just perfectly, and it's a good thing they were running away.
5-yard pickup by Elliott. More importantly, a 1st down at the Rams 36 in what is still a 2-possession game. Flag. Elliott incomplete. The flag back in the area of a hold against Dallas.
Holding. Offense. Number 52. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I think the call was on Connor Williams. I think he was holding Aaron Donald. Here's Aaron Donald. Yeah, he tackles him pretty much, and Aaron Donald, I've seen him bull rush guys back into the quarterback. You see the quickness there. He lines up outside. He's able to use a swim technique and then come inside. The quickness that he has. I've seen him beat double teams, push both guys back. I mean, he wins just about every which way you can do it. And every offense trying to stop him, and yet he still comes in and has, what, 20 sacks this year.
1st and 20. Prescott not able to get rid of it. Throws now, has Gallup. What a catch! Down near the 2. Great throw and catch, and Gallup, the rookie, over his shoulder, hauled it in for 44.
It was LaMarcus Joyner was the one in coverage once again. Prescott's able to buy a little bit of time. Joyner just gets caught, and there's no coverage then in behind him. I couldn't tell exactly if it's man coverage and that was his guy, but regardless, a bust to where Gallup's able to get in behind him, and Prescott delivers a perfect throw.
Challenge flag thrown by Sean McVay. Haven't seen anything yet to say they would change the call, but we'll get the call when we come back. Pereira says it's a catch. We've looked at it a number of times. It looks like a really impressive catch by the rookie Gallup. It gets loose in there a little bit, but he holds it against his body.
After reviewing the play, the ruling field stands as called. Los Angeles is charged with a timeout. Game clock will start on the snap.
So now left with only one challenge is Sean McVay. Mike?
You made the point. The ball does move and does actually get to the ground, but he never loses possession. The hand doesn't come off the ball, so absolutely right to leave that as a catch.
And set up 1st and goal. Gallup with 4 catches, 80 yards on this drive, was shut out in the first half. That was a big-time play by Prescott.
Well, it was a big play and just a blown coverage, and it appeared that it may have been more on Marcus Peters, who abandoned that outside 3rd coverage. Joyner trying to make up for it, but it was either on Joyner or Marcus Peters that allowed Gallup to get in behind him the way they did, and great job by Prescott on the move, putting the ball on the money.
First down and goal. Elliott near the goal line and not in. So 2nd down and goal. This is as Talib is going to be checked for a concussion, we're told, as he jogs into the locker room. This is a Dallas offense that in the red zone ranked 29th during the regular season. Elliott again pounds it in. Touchdown Dallas. And the early call by Jason Garrett is to bring on the field goal team to kick the extra point, not go for 2.
Well, you get down here, yeah, I would give it to Ezekiel Elliott 4 straight times if that's what was necessary, but good movement up front and a great job of finishing that off.
Now they take the field goal unit off. They bring Dak Prescott and the offense back on. And Dallas will go for 2, and they just reset the play clock. So they have time in this to make it an 8-point game. Cowboys were 2 for 2 on the year on 2-point tries. I think McVay is complaining and asking why they reset the play clock. Prescott keeps, throws. The attempt is good. Amari Cooper, but a flag is down inside the 5, sitting there at the 2.
Offside. Defense. Number 20. Penalties decline.
And this divisional playoff game is now a 1-possession game, albeit an 8-point game. The big completion to Michael Gallup set it up. Elliott took it in. Prescott found Cooper. 23-15. NFL players take the field in the college football all-star game. We'll see former NFL All-Pros handle the sidelines. Coaching staffs include Ed Reed, Plaxico Burress, Andre Johnson, Clinton Portis. It's all live January 19th at 5 Eastern on FS1. 8-point game at the Coliseum. A trip to the NFC Championship game next Sunday is on the line.
Go back and take a look at the big play to Michael Gallup that set up that touchdown. And here's Marcus Peters, the corner, and they're just playing 3-deep zone coverage, and he's responsible for that outside third, only he gets caught following Amari Cooper inside, and that's why Gallup then is able to get in behind, and LaMarcus Joyner sees it. He's just trying to make up for it. But a blown coverage, and with Aqib Talib, this defense was last in the NFL in the games that Talib was injured, giving up big plays.
Handoff here is to Gurley. Woods forces him out, and then Mike Pereira. After the touchdown, the question was, would they go for the extra point, the 2-point conversion? It looked like Sean McVay, Mike, was upset that they reset the play clock actually twice. Did the officiating crew handle it right?
Yeah, they did. Look at it. Automatically starts at 40 seconds after the score, but you can interrupt it at any time. And when you decide to go for 2, guess what? You got to get the kicking ball out of there. You got to get the regular ball in. You got to put it at the left hash. They're right to interrupt the play clock there.
Cooper is on the receiving end, and this is an 8-point game. 2nd down and 9. Goff over the middle. Pass is caught. Reynolds out to the 45.
That is so good. Josh Reynolds and the route that he runs and the ball placement by Jared Goff. Man coverage, Byron Jones. And it's hard to run with guys when they have inside position on you and they're running across the field. The Rams, when you go man coverage against the Rams, they're running the deep crossers, the shallow crossers, and they're awfully good at it. And Jared Goff is right on the money, allows him to catch it and still stay on the move.
Here's Gurley. One-on-one, and he went right through Awuzie and got 8. No chance.
Well, yeah, those corners, they're not real excited when they're the only guy out there in space, and you've got a guy like Todd Gurley at 225 pounds. I wouldn't want to tackle him either.
Not in that suit anyway. 2nd and 2. Woods overthrown. The possessions tonight for the Rams, they got the 2 early field goals, then got the touchdowns, the missed field goal, which was the long try by Zerline of 63 yards at the end of the half, and a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah, moving the ball has not been a problem. We've got 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and they're almost 400 yards already. The reason the Cowboys are in this game and just down 1 possession is because of the field goals. They've been able to make some stops once the Rams have gotten down into scoring position.
Goff, flag, incomplete. And now another flag. Looks like 2 separate fouls on this play. All 7 Rams possessions have crossed midfield. 2 flags came in on that 3rd and short.
Well, those last 2 throws by Goff after he makes a great throw to Reynolds. They're both on the Rams. Those were 2 horrendous throws by Goff.
Well, now the decision by Jason Garrett.
There's 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense. 76. Decline. Pass interference. Number 81. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So now it's 4th and short, 4th and 2. And the Rams send their punt team on. Remember, Johnny Hecker is as good as there is on fake punts.
He's faked 4 of them. He's converted 2 of them. He throws like a quarterback. I expected Sean McVay to go for it here.
And that's why I was saying there was a decision for Garrett. Do you accept the penalty and move him back? They decline the penalties. And here's Hecker. (11 of 19 throwing the ball in his NFL career.
I think they're going to let this run down.
Hoping to get the Cowboys to jump offside, and they don't.
Game. Offense.
And they will accept the penalty and move him back to bring up 4th down and 7. But they make you think, these Rams, with Bones Fossil, their special teams coordinator, you don't know what they're going to do. Line drive punt with Beasley back, and we'll see where they put it. Outside the 20 at the 23, and just a 29-yard punt. Cowboys have it, down 8.
It's the time of the season when love runs high.
Rams and the Cowboys meeting in the playoffs for the first time in 33 years, but the 9th time overall. 8 times in the 70s and 80s. Each side has won 4 games over the first 8, and this one is an 8-point game. With 3:10 left, Elliott takes on Johnson, the safety, and ends up with a 3-yard gain. The NFC Divisional playoffs continue tomorrow on Fox. Nick Foles tries to keep the Eagles flying. This incredible run. They take on Drew Brees and the Saints. It's all tomorrow at 4 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Well, we had that game earlier in the season when they played, and a little different team that the Saints are going to be facing this go around.
Carson Wentz threw 3 picks in that game. Now it's Nick Foles. 2nd and 7. Prescott. Good throw. Gallup with a catch for a first down. And a gain of 15. Chris?
Yeah, on that last Cowboy possession, the Rams would have preferred to keep Talib on Michael Gallup. Talib was hit, being evaluated for a concussion. So when he was out, Troy Hill came in. Peters was left on Gallup. And Peters been talking about Gallup the whole time on the sideline, and Gallup got the best of him. But Hill is in right now, and Nickel Roby would be the nickel if needed.
Yeah, Hill's on Amari Cooper down here at the bottom.
On first down, Prescott probably sees that, and he throws back to the young tight end, Rico Gathers, who had just 3 catches during the regular season. He drops it, but Cooper looked wide open.
He was wide open. You see what he did to Troy Hill, and you know, like I said, when Aqib Talib was out of the lineup for those 8 weeks, they gave up a lot of big plays. Troy Hill really struggled, and as much as you want to run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott, still obviously a ton of time in this game. I think that they can take advantage of some looks in this secondary. Marcus Peters has struggled. Troy Hill coming in off the bench. You see how soft they are playing at the corner position.
2nd and 10. Here's Beasley with his first catch and a first down. He was iffy all week, and Jason Garrett told us no matter how much he plays, he could come up with a key first down. That's just kind of his calling card, and he gets one here.
Well, it's his right ankle that he has the problem. So if you put him on the right side, he's breaking off his left foot. and that helps. And then when he traverses and comes back to the middle of the field, again, it's off his left foot, and that helps. Now he's at the top, but he is a little ginger with the foot and the ankle when he makes those breaks off it.
Elliott knocked down by Aaron Donald. The man who is #1 in the league since his rookie year in tackles for loss, quarterback hits, #3 in sacks, makes a play.
Well, an impossible block for Tyron Smith. They're running away from Aaron Donald. They're expecting Tyron Smith to be able to cut off that path from Donald being able to make a play. There's no way. There's no human alive that can make that make that block.
See, Talib is back on the sideline, but with his helmet on. Elliott splits out wide to the right. Good protection. Dalton Schultz incomplete. So now 3rd down and 14 with 28 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
And here comes Aqib Talib, and there goes Troy Hill. So a big 3rd down here for this Rams defense, and now they've got their #1 corner back in the game.
Prescott has been sacked only once. Talib across from Noah Brown. Prescott steps through to the sideline. Pass is caught by Brown, but a yard short of a 1st down.
Saw the Rams there trying to point. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, that's a good job.
He had to re-grab it. So far, it looks like a catch.
Yep.
But we are through 3 quarters, and the Cowboys will be faced with 4th and a yard to start the 4th. What a game. Back after this. Go for it on 4th and 1. Zeke Elliott has converted each of the first 2 tries. They pass on a 53-yard field goal try. And they need a yard. Elliott spinning and does not get it. What a job by this LA defense.
So it looked like Ebukam was the guy. There was someone on the ground low, but Ebukam came in and was able to stand him up. And even with that, it looked like Elliott might be able to get away from him. It was Ndamukong Suh. Actually, it was LaMarcus Joyner who comes in, and Ndamukong Suh's the one who clogs it up, and then Joyner was the one who had him stood up, and Elliott trying to get away, and then here come all of the Rams players to finish him off. That's an outstanding job by this defense on 4th and 1, making a play when they needed it.
And you could see a little smile creep onto the face of Wade Phillips, who was a head coach for the Dallas Cowboys from 2007 through half of 2010. Went 34 and 22 during his time. Rams may have gotten away with a false start as Reynolds started too soon. No flag, and Robert Woods gets it, picks up 9.
Well, Tyler Higbee, we've seen him make some plays in the passing game. When you run this jet sweep the way that the Rams do, then you've got to be able to block the edge, and you've got to hold that for a little bit. And you see the job that he's able to do in staying on his man and then giving Robert Woods a place to run with the football. It's a heck of a gain there on 1st down, 9 yards.
Woods was #3 during the regular season in rush yards by a wide receiver. They hand it here to Anderson, and he's got a 1st down.
And what did Robert Woods tell us when he said that he loves when they run that jet sweep, and they run it once or twice a game for him, and he said it takes him back to his Pop Warner days when he was a running back. He loves it. Like I said, he's good with the ball in his hands, whether that's after the catch or doing the things that they do with him on those types of handoffs. But he's not the only one who gets the ball. They do it with Brandon Cooks, Josh Reynolds, Cooper Kupp when he was healthy. Even Gerald Everett will get involved in the run game.
Goff hands to Anderson. Awuzie can't get to him before Anderson on first down picks up 7. Tomorrow night after football, tune into FS1 for a huge super middleweight title fight as Jose Uzcategui defends his belt against undefeated Caleb Plant, live after football tomorrow on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Quick shot of the Microsoft Theater at LA Live, where that fight will take place tomorrow night after the Saints host the Eagles. Second down and 3. Anderson, first down and more. And now a Cowboy for a moment.
I tell you, it's been a long time since we've seen the Cowboys get beat the way they're getting beat on the ground. You know, the Rams have over 230 yards rushing on the ground, but whether it's C.J. Anderson or Todd Gurley, it hasn't mattered. Both of them have over 100 yards.
It was unofficial, but that was C.J. Anderson's 4th team in 2018 season.
Can you believe that? All those teams started with Carolina. Like, what were we doing?
Goff, Woods, full head of steam, and a first down inside the 20 to the 19. 18-yard catch and run.
There's Woods, where you see that they make it look like run. They just are so good at doing that, and they involve Robert Woods, and the timing in the way in which they do it is really good stuff. And I had the pleasure of watching this team practice, the Rams, and McVay, and he coaches every position. He's meticulous in how they do things. It's no surprise that they execute at the level they do.
No pressure on Goff in this game. Here's Gurley. Good play by Jones. So Goff hasn't been sacked. He's only been knocked down once. And this is a Dallas defense that actually struggled in the sack department on the road, at 13 total in 8 road games and none tonight.
Yeah, you're right. It's a different defense on the road. It's a different offense for the Cowboys on the road as well, and we all know what the Rams have done here at the Coliseum. But yeah, they have not had the sacks when they've played outside of AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Cowboys 8-1 at home, 3-5 on the road and trailing here. Play clock was close to zeros. Here's Woods. Heath with the tackle. 3rd down coming up. So now you go into the history books, and you see the most rush yards in a single game in the Rams playoff history, and it is a long playoff history. They got the Cowboys in '86, and they're marching toward that total here in January of 19. This is the first time the Rams have had 2 100-yard rushers in a single postseason game. 3rd and 2. Cooks gets it and gets it. 1st and goal. Awuzie on the tackle after a run of 5.
It's like a magic act back there for Jared Goff with all the action. Whether or not they're going to have it handed to Brandon Cooks, or are they going to give it to Gurley, who's running the slant the other way, or is it going to be play action? You see the defense, they're going every which direction.
First down and goal, Anderson. Pretty big hit there by Malik Collins. As now the Cowboys are looking for a big turnover. There haven't been any in the game. And there's been 1 sack total between these two teams.
Well, this has been a good drive for this Rams offense, and they make the stop there on 4th and 1. They get the ball. They're up 8 points, and to put together this drive and be knocking at the door, and in addition to that, they've milked a lot of time off this clock.
Here's Anderson to the 1. 3rd down and goal. Anthony Brown finished him off.
This guy is really something, and you know, the fact that the Rams brought him in as soon as they lost Malcolm Brown, and he finished up the last 2 games of the regular season. You know, how about kudos to Les Snead and Kevin Demoff and those involved in assembling this roster from the time that Sean McVay took over. I mean, they brought in some talented guys, and they continue to give him players that can produce, and C.J. Anderson's just the latest.
Goff trying to pop it in. Didn't look like he got it. It'll be 4th down and goal. And while you're Sean McVay, you're tempted. If you get the field goal, it's a 2-possession game.
Boy, he is really tempted. I agree, and I understand the temptation, because I'd be thinking the same thing. But you're able to make this a 2-possession game, but he doesn't care. He's got confidence in this group that they can make it happen.
4th and goal from the 1.
This could be the play of the game right here.
And all that to try to draw Dallas offside.
Yeah, worth a shot.
Still wouldn't have been a touchdown. And a timeout is taken by the Rams. And so still we'll see what the decision will be. And we'll be right back after this from State Farm.
Ha! Surprise! It's your MVC bike.
What's MVC?
Most valuable client.
I'm your only client.
I'm your only agent.
No, you're not.
No worries. We have great rates on motorcycles.
Oh, well, that's too bad, because I was going to trade this in for a boat.
We cover that, too.
Hop on, Aaron. Sorry, State Farm. No 3rd wheels. This isn't a tricycle. Jan? Yeah. Feels so light.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Cowboys didn't jump. Rams took a timeout to keep the ball just inside the 1, and they look like they're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
Yeah, and I thought if they got them off sides, and yeah, you move it half the distance, it's not much, but not all 4th and 1s are created equal. I mean, once it's inside a yard, they still say it's 4th and 1. Then I thought, okay, they might go for it, but I really expected when they did not get the Cowboys to jump that they would settle for the field goal.
They pass on a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Anderson says, Sean McVay, you made the right call. Touchdown, Rams. And you mentioned Kevin Demoff and Les Snead. They're the ones that handed the reins of this team to a 30-year-old first-time head coach, and now everybody is trying to copy what they did. He's not just an offensive mind, not just this offensive savant. He is a really smart, good head coach.
He sure is. He's a joy to talk to, and he's got great charisma, and you can know the offense, but that doesn't mean you're going to be Sean McVay. But his players, he had a belief right there that they would make it happen, and they sure did.
And now it's a 15-point game. And the Rams have run the ball for 250 yards in this game and 3 touchdowns. A look at our friend and the young John Madden, who currently holds the NFL record for youngest coach to win a playoff game at 33 years old. With his Raider win against the Oilers in 1969, if the Rams hold on, Sean McVay would take over that top spot at the age of 32. They lost to Atlanta last year during the wild card round. They learned a lot. I mean, everybody's young around here. The quarterback, the head coach, and second time they're leading by 15 with 7 minutes 16 seconds left. Coming off Goff a pretty gutsy call to pound it in, and it worked. Let's go back to that 4th down rushing touchdown.
Yeah, 4th and goal. That's Rob Havenstein, the right tackle. Taco Charlton, it sure looked like Havenstein got away with a hold. Taco Charlton sure thought so, and so do I. Actually, he got his left hand in there in the shoulder pads, and I don't know what a difference it would have made on the play, but that was a clear hold.
So from the 25, down by 15. 3 timeouts, 7 minutes left. Prescott, Gallup. He's had a nice second half. And bigger and even better things coming for the rookie, who is assimilated well into this Cowboy offense. A gain of 24.
They go right.
The ball sitting at the 49.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good job by Prescott. He got back, got the ball out. Gallup ran a nice route.
Prescott holds on to it a bit here, and this time Peters gets his right hand in front of Gallup. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they're trying to run the shallow crosser versus that man coverage, and that was good coverage there by Peters. He's had some busts, and there's an Ndamukong Suh at the end of that play. I think that was within the rules, right, Mike? I mean, he's got
absolutely. He was within 2 steps and just pushed him.
But Suh has had him. He's had a really nice game today.
Handoff is to Elliott. 3rd and long coming up. And that was Barron who came down and made the play.
Well, the Cowboys are in 4-down territory here, so there's no guesswork as to what they're going to try to do.
Third down and 9. Cooper makes the catch. 4th down again.
Well, it's a good job of rallying. You've got Aqib Talib and Nikel Roby-Coleman in coverage, and they're able to get to Amari Cooper before he gets the 1st down. That's not easy with Roby-Coleman trying to make a tackle, but Aqib Talib comes in. They did bring the blitz. The Rams are not a big blitzing team, but they brought it there.
And it'll be the 4th and 1 attempt. They're 2 for 3 so far.
They're showing a look here, but it looks like he's going to bail out. They're going to play coverage on the back end with John Johnson.
Timeout is taken here. And it's the Rams who take down below any chance.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't go play action here, Joe. Just, it's such a critical point in the game, and they have to convert this play. But everybody in this stadium's got to be thinking that they're going to run the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to get everything they want on Amari Cooper down here at the bottom. Noah Brown is the other one. He's at the top. He's a good route runner, too. Normally they would motion him down and have him involved in the run game.
Any hope the Cowboys have of coming back rests on this 4th and 1. Prescott keeps and gets it. And he slides down just outside the 40 with a 1st down to keep hope alive for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, keep her all the way, and they've got Elliott out there, and although he was not blocking, but he never turned as though he was looking to receive the pass. But I think Prescott had one thing in mind. That was just keeping it for the 1st.
Here's one to Cooper. He has to go down to get it. And that ball is out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. It's knocked out by Talib, and they're going to mark it. And they're going to get together first. Looked like close to 1st down yardage. Might be just inches short. And it is. 2nd and less than 1. First down, Elliott. Puts his left hand on the front of the helmet of Mark Barron and gets 7. This is a Dallas team that in 3 years with Dak Prescott has gone 24-2 when Dak does not turn the ball over. There have been none in this game. But the Cowboys trail by 15 with 4 minutes left. Cooper. Tackled by Barron.
Well, the Rams right now, they're playing soft. They're going to give up the underneath throw and just try to keep everything in front of them and not give up a quick strike, knowing that
here's a little toss to Ezekiel Elliott, and what a play by Littleton. A loss on the play, so 3rd down coming up, and the clock continues to run.
Exactly right, and so a really good play by Littleton, being able to come up and make a play on Ezekiel Elliott there in the open field and losing yardage. Like you said, the biggest thing, Joe, is this clock. You know, they got to get in the end zone, but they're taking a lot of time getting these plays called.
Prescott broken up. And that was Littleton again. A special teams ace, now a starting linebacker, and he's made 2 good plays back to back.
Well, he's a good player. He really is. You talked about it earlier when they let Alec Ogletree go and him having to step in. And of course, he made the Pro Bowl, like you said earlier, as a special teams player, but he's an undersized guy. In fact, you probably wouldn't find 2 smaller inside linebackers than he and Mark Barron. But here we go. 4th down.
3 for 4 on 4th down tries are the Cowboys. Just got it away. Prescott in trouble. Just heaves it to the back of the end zone. There was contact there and a flag. Aqib Talib was covering Cooper, and that's where they threw the flag. Let's see what the call is.
It looked like Talib pushed him in out of the back of the end zone.
And it's against Talib. Here's the call.
Pass interference, defense, number 21 in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
Big difference, Mike, between pass interference and illegal contact in this case.
Well, and the decision that they had to make was, could this have been illegal contact instead of defensive pass interference? But it could not have been, because Dak had already rolled out of the pocket. So then it becomes, if the ball's in the air, then it's pass interference, and clearly he does shove him out of bounds, and the pass had just been released.
So 1st and goal from the 1. Elliott cuts upfield, and a nice play is made by Bryce Hager, the linebacker. And so now, not only do the Cowboys obviously have to score, but they can't play around down here with the clock continuing to wind. And it is with 2:30 left.
Yeah, it was showing that maybe the Cowboys had called timeout, but they elect to keep the clock running.
Prescott keeps and reaches for the touchdown. With 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. And the Cowboys will bring the field goal unit on for the extra point.
Boy, what a great job by Dak Prescott. Was it Michael Brockers who makes the contact on him, a defensive tackle, and yet he's still able to just plow his way across for the touchdown. This is the right call here. Kick the extra point, make it a 1-possession game, 8-point game. And then if you get the ball back, you can score. Then you're going to have to make a 2-point conversion. costly penalty there on Aqib Talib when they. Actually, Corey Littleton who came in and made the hit. But yeah, costly penalty there on Aqib Talib, keeping that drive alive and then setting him up on the 1.
So they look at the touchdown to make sure it's good, that the knees were up. Scoring review, Mike Pereira. You think this is a touchdown? It certainly looked like it was. By the way, a pretty vicious hit by Littleton, helmet to helmet, on Dak Prescott.
I think what you're looking at here is the knee up off the ground when it breaks the plane. The down the line shot, when you look here, you can't really see where the ball is, but nothing that we can show them would be enough in my mind to overturn it or reverse it to being short.
Well, this is a big extra point for Brett Maher, and then you got to wonder what Jason Garrett's going to decide with 3 timeouts. The Rams have only punted 1 time in this game, so does he kick deep and play defense, or does he try an onside kick right away to see if he can't get the ball back?
Here's the call.
After reviewing the play, the rule in the field stands. Touchdown.
Along those lines, if you kick it deep, then you're looking for a 3 and out. The Rams have not had a 3 and out in this game, and they were the best in the league with only 19 during the regular season. But as you said, first things first, Maher, who in his first year with the Cowboys missed 1 extra point, that was at Atlanta week 11, has got to make this to give Dallas a chance. And he does. The pass interference call on that 4th down throw set up the Cowboys. 2 plays later, they take it in. 8-point game again in LA.
Or just ask. And by Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse.
So with 2 minutes 11 seconds left, what does Jason Garrett do? Kick it deep or try the onside kick? Including the playoffs, only 4 successful onside kick tries all season. He'll have the 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts. The answer is kick it deep into the end zone. And I think we'll talk about this in a minute. CBS is airing the Chargers at the Patriots tomorrow on the road to Super Bowl 53. Both championship games are presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. CBS has the AFC Championship late next Sunday. As you and I were talking, because of the rule changes, it's just so hard to get an onside kick to go your way. Just kick it deep and see if your defense can get a stop.
Yeah, and you expect the Rams to run the ball here and get this to the 2-minute warning and then go from there.
Gurley carries, gets tripped up, gets 1. And Jason Garrett able to get a timeout on this side of the 2-minute warning. It'll be 2nd down and 9, but this offensive line, you've talked about them all night. The only offensive line where all 5 guys made all 16 starts. You see the bottom line, no sacks allowed and 251 rushing yards between C.J. Anderson for the most part and Todd Gurley.
Yeah, it's just a terrific job by this offensive line. I think right now, Joe, looking at this, I mean, if you're the Rams, and here you are with an 8-point lead and the ball's in your offense's hands to go win it. I mean, that's what they would want. On the other hand, if you're the Cowboys and you're saying, okay, this game right now is on our defense to make a stop, we like that. And which one's going to prevail?
Here's Anderson now. Runs into Sean Lee. And to the 2-minute warning we go. So it'll be 3rd down and long for the Rams, and the Cowboys have 2 timeouts. Back after this.
Warning. morning, Jared Goff did not come over to the sidelines. He stayed in the huddle, and Sean McVay, here he is. He's a good 35 yards away or so from the line of scrimmage, and that's where he was talking to Goff, and that's where he's going to watch this third down play.
Well, the Cowboys have 2 timeouts. It's 3rd down and 7. Do you throw it, try to get it, pick it up? If you run it, you end up punting it right back. If you don't pick up the first down, they'll throw it. Goff will run it and get it. Biggest run of his NFL career.
You know, he had Brandon Cooks. What a call. I mean, in order to move the pocket, you've got some options at various levels with the receivers. And I did not anticipate Goff keeping the ball. But once he gets outside the pocket, he has Cooks there, number 12. But he sees that there's nobody out in front of him, and he picks it up and then wisely stays in bounds. That's a great job by him.
That's that Cal education coming into play. He needed 7. He needed 7. He got 11. He rushed 43 times during the regular season for 108 yards. He doesn't do it much, but in his young career, no bigger takeoff and run by Jared Goff than that. Cowboys called a timeout. They're left with 1 with 1:51 remaining.
Well, the Rams can run it down to about 10 seconds with the Cowboys having 1 timeout left.
Here's Anderson covering up the football, and timeout taken by Dallas. They're out of timeouts. 269 yards rushing for Sean McVay's Rams. And right now they're 1:46 away from the NFC Championship game.
Well, hey, this offense, what they were able to do today, and even the defense, you know, what they made some key plays when they had to and came out early and were able to slow down Ezekiel Elliott. But this offense and this running game and the offensive front against this defense was impressive throughout this entire ball game. 455 yards of offense.
Cowboys cannot stop the clock again. Anderson. Another first down. Down he goes, and this thing is over. The last time the Rams went to the NFC Championship game, they were the St. Louis Rams, and they won that game in the 01 season. They've been to the champ game 9 times in franchise history, and they're knocking on the door of their 10th appearance. And they will take on the winner of the Eagles and the Saints tomorrow in the late afternoon. And you go back to that 2001 season. The last time the Rams were knocking on the door of the Super Bowl, Saints defeated the Rams, as you saw in Week 9, 45-35. The Eagles won here down the stretch, and they've won their last 2 games against the Rams here in the Coliseum. Sean McVay, the youngest head coach to win a postseason game. And he and his crew, Troy, did it behind their offensive line and the work of Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson. And now the Dallas Cowboys have lost 8 straight road playoff games.
Yeah, the Rams came in and they really beat the Cowboys at their own game. They held Ezekiel Elliott to under 50 yards rushing in the ball game, less than 3 yards a carry. On the other hand, C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley just had Jared Goff and company, and what a heck of a win. This was a challenge for them, but they pulled it off and looked impressive doing it.
Chris Myers is with Jared Goff.
It's quite a scene, and Los Angeles Rams have waited a long time for this. Congratulations. A game of 4th downs. Describe that last one. It was your number to secure the ball.
Oh, man, yeah. We had a keeper on there, and I knew if I didn't have an open throw, I had to run it. And you know, felt a good lane in front of me, and guys blocked. I started running and got the first down.
You had the option, or did Sean say keep it?
No, I had the option. Yeah, maybe should have thrown it. We'll see.
No, it worked out great.
It worked.
The running game, the offensive line set the tone from the start. Describe that. Was that the process going in?
Yeah, it's incredible what they did today. I mean, we know this defense, and we prepared for it well all week. And what Todd and CJ did this week.
Take somebody's soul. He ain't taking no fucking soul out.
Keep Taliba, excuse the language, he's a little excited.
Bleep that one.
Yeah, we're
right,
live.
though. He's right. But, yeah, we ran the ball well, man. It started with Todd. CJ finished it off, and feel really good to get a win here.
Now, revenge against the Eagles or Saints next week. Good luck, and be excited, all right?
Thank you. No, it'll be fun. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. Joe?
All right, Chris. Well handled down there. The L.A. Rams went to the NFC Championship game 7 times between 1974 and 1989. And you see the emotions spilling over. They got after each other early and late. The Rams are going to the NFC Championship game, and we will be back on the other side of this break. Rams moving on. Plays of the game presented by IBM. It was an 8-point game at the start of the fourth quarter when the Rams defense held on 4th down and 1, stopping Ezekiel Elliott. And in front of that, the 3rd down numbers big in this game. The Cowboys were 1 for 10 on 3rd down. The Rams 5 for 11, including that big carry by Jared Goff to ice this game. And the first playoff win for Andrew Whitworth in his 13th year. He's now 1-7. Back after this.